The Vorthak had conquered 17 star systems without losing a single battle. Its name was whispered in terror across the galaxy, a creature born from the deepest nightmares of evolution. Standing 12 feet tall with obsidian scales that could deflect plasma fire and claws that could rend through starship hulls. Its 4 red eyes saw across multiple spectrums, and its mind was a cold, calculating instrument of war. Commander Zexthul of the Galactic Defense Force had seen the aftermath of Vorthak attacks. Entire colonies reduced to ash, fleets torn apart like paper, defenders driven mad by the creature's psychic presence before they could even fire a shot. The beast seemed unstoppable, and every species in the known galaxy had learned to flee rather than face it, except humans. When the distress call came from the mining station on Kepler 442b, Zexthul expected to find another graveyard. Instead, his sensors detected life signs, hundreds of them, all clustered in the main facility. More puzzling still, there were 2 distinct heat signatures in the station's central chamber. One massive and radiating the familiar psychic static of a Vorthak, and one small, calm, and unmistakably human. "This makes no sense," Zexthul muttered, his tentacles writhing with anxiety. The human should be dead or insane by now. His tactical officer, a crystal-based Silicari, chimed in harmonious tones. "Perhaps the readings are wrong, Commander. No organic being has ever survived direct contact with a Vorthak for more than minutes." But as they approached the station, the impossible scene became clear through the viewports. The Vorthak stood in the center of the mining facility's main hall, its massive form trembling, actually trembling, while a human female sat calmly on a supply crate not 10 feet away, her legs swinging casually as she spoke. "You see," Dr. Sarah Chen was saying, her voice carrying clearly through the station's communication system, "the thing about fear is that it's really just uncertainty about the future. You've built your entire existence around being the thing others fear. But what happens when someone isn't afraid of you?" The Vorthak's response was a low rumble that had previously reduced Krellian warriors to quivering masses. Sarah didn't even blink. "I know what you're thinking," she continued, hopping down from the crate and taking a step closer. The creature actually backed away. "You're wondering why your psychic intimidation isn't working on me. The answer is beautifully simple. Humans are weird." Commander Zexthul found himself leaning forward, fascinated despite his terror. He'd studied human psychology extensively, but this was beyond anything in his files. "We're the only species that actively seeks out things that scare us," Sarah explained, now circling the Vorthak like a professor giving a lecture. "Horror movies, extreme sports, roller coasters. We literally pay money to be frightened. Do you know what that does to a brain over evolutionary timescales?" The Vorthak tried to lunge forward, claws extended but stopped mid-motion as Sarah simply smiled. It wasn't a threatening smile or a mocking one. It was warm, genuine, the kind of expression humans used when they were truly delighted by something. "There it is," she said softly. "You felt it, didn't you? That little flutter of uncertainty. You've never encountered anything like us before." The creature that had single-handedly destroyed the Zerian fleet actually whimpered. "Your species evolved on a world where intimidation meant survival," Sarah continued, her smile never wavering. "But humans, we evolved as persistence hunters. We didn't kill with fear, we killed with patience. We followed our prey for days, weeks if necessary, always calm, always smiling until they collapsed from exhaustion." She took another step forward, and the Vorthak retreated again, its red eyes darting around as if looking for an escape route. "That's what makes us different from every other species you've encountered. They developed fear as a survival mechanism. We developed the ability to suppress it. And when humans aren't afraid," Sarah's smile widened just slightly, "we become something else entirely." The Vorthak's psychic emanation shifted from intimidation to something Commander Zexthul had never associated with the creature before: confusion, uncertainty, and underneath it all, a growing seed of genuine fear. "The beautiful irony," Sarah said, now standing directly in front of the towering beast, "is that you've become so dependent on fear as a weapon that you never learned to function without it. Take that away and you're just another big scared animal." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a protein bar, unwrapping it with casual movements. "Want half? You've probably been too busy being terrifying to eat properly." The Vorthak stared at the offered food for a long moment, its massive form beginning to shake more violently. Then, for the first time in its documented existence, the creature that feared nothing turned and fled, smashing through the station's emergency airlocks in its desperate escape. Sarah took a bite of her protein bar and waved at the retreating figure. "Give my regards to the rest of the galaxy," she called cheerfully. Later, as Commander Zexthel's team secured the station, he approached Dr. Chen with something approaching reverence. "How?" was all he managed to ask. Sarah shrugged, still smiling that warm, terrifying human smile. Simple evolutionary psychology. Humans aren't scary because we're stronger or smarter than everyone else. We're scary because we're the only species that looks at something genuinely terrifying and thinks, "I wonder what would happen if I poked it." She gestured toward the hole where the Vorthak had escaped. And sometimes, just sometimes, the thing we poke realizes that being feared isn't the same as being fearless. As news of the encounter spread across the galaxy, a new understanding emerged about humanity's place among the stars. They weren't the strongest species or the smartest or the most advanced, but they were the only ones who could make a creature that feared nothing flinch with nothing more than a smile, and that the galaxy realized was perhaps the most terrifying superpower of all.